Dawa.
Dawa. Yeah,
Yes.
that. So
And
yeah,
that's
they
actually
don't
not
have the
even a
same.
popular thing among all Muslims. That's some Muslims who do that. There are a lot of Muslims who don't believe in that. They think it's cringe. So it's weird. The Muslim community, like I did in my debate with Apostate Prophet, and I think I made a convincing argument. He wants to argue that Islam is a monolith. I say it's not. There's many versions of Islam. There's not one version of Islam. There's not one version of any religion. And that's the problem.
Mm.
People are like, well, all religions must be this one thing. No, there's lots of diverse beliefs, and that's okay. Where humans are diverse, so we're going to have different diverging beliefs, and there's not a true belief that you can prove is correct. You just do the best you can as a person.
The chat already at MDD is already spicy. We're going to have
Well,
a
because
busy night.
yeah, well, there's not many Jews in the world. This is the thing. So the world's predominantly Christian. Like half the world population almost is Christian and Islam. If you include not people that say they're non-religious, that's like, was it 55, 56, 66 plus 6? 72% of the world is either Christian, Islam, or non-religion. 2/3 of the world is. That only leaves 33% of the world for other. So
Yeah, that's
so
a
like
lot.
we're part of the 2/3 of the world. Like this us three represent 2/3 of the world population between Islam and atheist.
And you got Jewish representation here too, so you have that
But
also.
they only represent 0.2%. So they're like all the conflicts, people pretend like they're this big monolithic thing that rule the world. Judaism is tiny. Like, I don't want to say they're insignificant because that would be devaluing them as humans, because each individual, of course, is significant. I'm not devaluing them, but as a geopolitical group, it's 14.7 million people on planet Earth. There are 1.16 billion Hindus.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's 500 million Buddhists. There are 400 million Chinese traditional religious people. Like, there's various and ethnic religions. So and Judaism is more like an ethnic religion. So if you go all ethnic religions combined, besides those ones, it's 3%. Sikhism is 0.3%, is bigger than Judaism.
Huh.
Sikhism is larger than
Yeah,
Judaism.
it's a Daisy stuff.
I like the Sikhs. They walk around with a knife, and they're tolerant of other people. I like them. I met a Sikh on the MDD Discord, and yeah, he was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's a part of Desi culture. I know the Desi continuum. I'm connected to the Sikh culture and Dharmic, Vedic. When you're a Desi, you're kind of connected to all that stuff. Desi
I had one that
salvation.
worked for me at in California, and he was wearing his headpiece thing.
A turban.
I told, well, it's not a turban. It's what do they call it?
You're talking about the Sikh community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they call it a turban. That you wrap around your head. I've worn it too. It's pretty cool.
You didn't call it a turban.
Yeah, they have the 7 Ks, but that, like Kesh, Kara, Kirpan, Khalsa.
Yeah, a chuni. That's a chuni.
Well,
anyway,
it might be in Punjabi, because the Sikh community, they speak Punjabi. I know a little bit. Sachni Akal.
Yeah. He spoke Punjabi. Anyways, but they got the chuni and then the turban thing on top. But anyways, I had to make him take it off. It's like, you had to wear a hard hat. He tried to say he didn't. I'm like, no, you gotta wear a hard hat.
Can he wear like a bandana and then have the hard hat on top? Because Sikh community, they can wear bandanas too. Like when you go into the Gurdwara.
They have a chuni. It's a chuni.
Uh-huh.
It's a piece of cloth, like a cheesecloth thing.
But do you think it has to do more with the amount of Jewish people that there are, and not with this whole intrinsic idea of the religion to try to convert people to Judaism or to any religion, basically to Islam, to Christianity?
Well, Judaism is an ethnic religion, right? You have to typically be born into it.
If
You
your
don't
mother's
have-
Jewish, then you're considered a Jew. Like me, I'm considered a Jew because my mother's a Jew, so that makes me a Jew.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can also convert into. It's hard, and
Well, the
it's not
Orthodox
the
community, it would be difficult with the Orthodox. Like for me, like if I go to the Orthodox community and I can prove my bloodline, they'll say I'm Jewish. Even if I don't practice and I'm not from, I'm considered a Jew. But if I go, like, it's harder. Like if your father is Jewish and not your mother, it's a more difficult situation.
Yeah.
So, any ideas what might happen today during their conversation, and any ideas what they might bring for the openings and during the open discussion?
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting to see that. What's his name? What's the name of the Jewish correspondent?
Daniel.
Daniel.
David. No, Daniel
David.
is Daniel.
Daniel versus
David.
David. That's funny. They both have
Oh my
Hebrew
gosh.
names.
Yeah.
Daniel and David. They're both Hebrew names. They both have Hebrew names, so that's interesting. But I think David looks like he's frum, which means he's like Orthodox. So he might make some Orthodox arguments. And I hope that Daniel can actually pronounce the names of these books. It doesn't seem like he knows how to. He couldn't even say the Rambam's name correctly, which I think is shameful. You're going to talk about Judaism and you can't even pronounce the name of one of the greatest sages and rabbis of Judaism of all time. That's a shameful thing. You should know how to pronounce that. If you're going to act like you're an authority on Judaism, you should at least know about the names of the people that you're saying. He couldn't pronounce Shulchan Aruch. He couldn't, he probably doesn't know what Pirkei Avot is. I don't think he's well versed enough to know about Judaism to be able to talk about it. What I've heard of what he said, he just doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't understand Judaism. He tries to insult the Talmud. He doesn't understand the Talmud. The Talmud is a giant. There's two Talmuds. There's the Jerusalem Talmud and the Babylonian Talmud, and they have so much information. There's so much context, and he's completely disgraced it. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So, I mean, that's going to be a hard thing for Daniel. He doesn't understand Judaism, and he doesn't understand.
That's what he's going to bring up. He's going to bring up how sick and twisted the Talmud is. He's going to talk about,
but he doesn't know Talmud.
Judiciary rulings that were in the past, how the ancient scholars spoke back and forth about different things. He's going to straw man Judaism. He's not going to explain how. So what he should do is explain. He should steel man David's argument and say where he gets it wrong if he can.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah, Daniel is not a very honest interlocutor, and it's no secret that we three at least don't like him very much. But he's not honest when he's debating, and I think that what Oth just said, that he's going to strawman the hell out of Judaism, that's pretty fair. I would like, Isa, can you walk us through what might be some of the default arguments for someone who is an Orthodox Jew?
If I were to argue for Judaism, and I can do it, I can argue for Judaism because I'm equipped enough and I've studied enough that I feel that I could make convincing arguments for Judaism. But if I'm going to make an argument for Judaism against, let's say, Islam, I would say, look, you don't have a religion without me. So if you attack me, you attack yourself. So you've already destroyed yourself. I am not contingent on you. You are contingent on me. So you are already in a loss. You're going to attack the Hebrew prophets? Are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to attack the prophets? You have just attacked your own religion. So I would just use like a mirror move tactic on him. You want to attack Judaism, then you attack Islam. And you have failed and you have lost. And I can attack Islam and not have anything hurt me because you are contingent on me. I am not contingent on you. Yeah. So that would be the argumentation strategy I would take. Also, I would say that you are not qualified. Because I understand Judaism, I understand Islam better than you do, because I understand how these Hebrew prophets were. I read the Torah. Have you read the Torah? You have not read the Torah. You don't know what this text says. You don't know Hebrew. I'm going to use the same attack strategy that he probably will use against people who attack Islam. They say, well, you must know Lugat al-Arabiya. Well, you need to know Lashon al-Kodesh. You need to know Ivrit. You need to know the holy language of Hebrew. You don't know Hebrew, then you don't know Torah. So you can't attack anything that I have to say. So I think there's a lot of strategies you could use. I would have used some of those. I would have those in my bag.
I doubt it'll be that dishonest, though, because I think I've talked to David on Modern Day Debate Discord before. I think I've talked to him in the past. He looks familiar, but maybe not.
But is that a dishonest move? I think that's a fair move. I think it's a completely fair move.
I don't think he'll use the language
to say, look,
though.
You need my religion.
Yeah, that part.
Well, you're talking about with Arabic versus Hebrew. I'm just saying the thing is, I'm using your own weaponry against you. That's what I would say.
Yeah. No, I don't think he'll play that. He won't play the game. He won't poison the well against Daniel. What he will say is, if he's smart, he will say the foundation for Islam is Judaism. So if you try to falsify Judaism, you falsify the foundation for Islam. So the only way he could do that is if, and that was just his argument, he sort of wins. But if he tries to make any other type of claims to try to show now what he needs to do, if David does, what he has to do to falsify Islam is to show the claims beyond Judaism that are different from Islam and show how those are false. And then and just stick to his guns there and do not argue anything about Judaism to make them true. Then it leaves no room for Daniel to attack Judaism. If Daniel attacks Judaism in any way at all, it attacks his foundation. The only thing he's left to do is to defend the attacks on Islam. So that is a good case. He should. It leaves him on his back foot the entire debate.
Yeah, so you're basically reinforcing what I said. Yeah, that's exactly it. I was saying that I'm showing you there's a whole bag of tricks that you can use, but that would be the main trick that I would use, and I think it would win. It's going to win because that's the problem, and I think it's foolishness if he's going to say, well, he's going to try to use some kind of Christian apologetic, like a Protestant Christian apologetic, being like, well, the Talmud is not real, but the Torah is real. I'm like, that's just ridiculous nonsense. It's a nonsensical position.
Using the language argument would not be good because a good scholar, a good theologian, like if David is really a rabbi, he's going to want to educate his audience, right? So he's not going to play the game with language because he's going to be respectful to his audience. He's going to say, this is the words in this language. This is the best understanding of these words in English. And so this is what it means in English. And that's it. And I hope that's the approach he takes because that would be the respectful approach. This is my prediction with Daniel. He's going to use the same script because he has a web page that talks about it. He's a disgusting person. Just read the comment section that he just leaves up there on his own personal blogs, his own website about these disgusting comments about Jewish people and the what he posts on his own website, on his own blog. He's going to use the same argument he used against apostate prophet in his debate about that war over there in the Middle East that's going on right now. I guarantee you. And he's going to attack the Talmud. He's going to call them deceivers. He's going to call them liars. He's going to use a whole anti-Semitic line, and he's going to attack the ethnic group. He's not going to attack the religion, Judaism itself. He's going to attack the ethnicity. I'll bet.
That's a good prediction. Yeah, I totally share that thought with you. Huli asks, who's debating tonight? It's not a friend of the channel, Daniel Hakikachu, and sir called David. We don't have any additional sorry, we don't have any additional information
It's
from
David.
him.
He has a website.
David.
I
It's
have
probably David, right?
Yeah.
seen his website before. I know this guy. I've been to his website. He has been on Modern Day Debate Discord before because I've seen this David guy. So I'll share his website. And I don't think his arguments are that good. Just saying. He might have been on Modern Day Debate YouTube before too.
David, that's his YouTube name. They added that one. It wasn't there before when I checked a couple of times. So yeah, Oz is going to share the link there. But David is just his username. It's David.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's on the. Maybe he's not. I've talked to this guy before at some time in the past.
Interesting. I don't remember him from the MDD Discord, but yeah, fair enough. Maybe he's been
I've even
there.
seen the chess move videos. I don't know why I've looked into him before. I just been to his website before, and he doesn't have many views, so I have no other reason why.
What I'm wondering is if Judaism takes the same path as when debating as some of the Muslims will do of saying, well, you don't understand the Arabic, then you can't understand this. And it always falls. When pressed into a corner, take the translation exit strategy, which I don't think it's really valuable. It's like, okay, make sure... Don't translate the word, just give me the concept, explain why this would be valid under your paradigm. But every time I've gotten into an Islam debate, and probably with the Salafi Wahhabis, as Isa says, it always goes back to, okay, I think I have them on a point, and they say, oh, no, it's a translation issue. You don't understand the Arabic, it's a you problem and not an Islam problem.
And do they know Lughat al-Arabiya? Like, are they the masters of the language? It's complex. I've studied Arabic most of my life. It's a very difficult, complex language, and especially we're talking about Fusha, really ancient Arabic. How do these Salafis know? Why is their translation the correct translation? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why I don't feel like it's a good argument to make, especially when you are debating someone in English about on an English-speaking server about Islam. It's like, well, I mean, you have to deal with me in English. I can't speak Arabic, and if you explain this to me, I can't trust your translation. I just have to go by what I can see online, what I can see in different books and stuff. So I was wondering if Jews do the same, or if there isn't such. I know that it would be sort of as kind of on the same level of difficulty when trying to translate Hebrew, especially ancient Hebrew, to English, to modern day English. Do you know if there's anything to that, Isa?
So I studied Hebrew too. I spent many years studying Hebrew also, because it's a part of who I am as well. And Jewish people don't usually debate in these spaces because they don't care. Like you said, like, why would you care what these people have to say? You're doing your own thing. You're going to be successful. What does it matter what these other people have to say? You're not trying to convert people. You're just fostering your community, doing Purim, doing Hanukkah, doing Sukkot, Shavuot. You're doing your own stuff, and doing Shabbos. You're doing all of these things. You're not concerned what the other people have to say. So that's why I created a character for this, like if a Jewish person were to debate this situation. And I think that my perfect stance, which Oz reiterated, was the position that if you attack me, you attack yourself. So you're going to lose. So I you know what I mean? It's like, whatever hits me is going to hurt you, whatever bounces off of me, I am rubber, you are glue. Whatever I say, it bounces off of me and sticks to you. It's literally that kind of situation. I think you could make a linguistic argument. I think it is a good argument. If let's say David says, I'm going to challenge something in Islam, and then David says there's something in Islam, and then Daniel says, well, you don't know the Arabic. He'll say the same thing. How do you can't even pronounce these words? You can't even pronounce the word correctly. I mean, what a shame you can't
That
even
would be a good stalemate. Like, okay, you don't know the Arabic, you don't know the Hebrew. Okay, what's the debate? Like, it's either a tie. Do we stop talking? What happens? That would be fun to see.
No, it would be fun. I'm just saying it's a great counter argument. And it's a great way to say, no, let's stay in English. If you're going to try to bring linguistics, I'm going to beat you with the same game. You can't even pronounce these words. I'm not even trying to pronounce the words. You did, and you failed. You can't even say these words correctly. And it's sad. It means you read an English translation and you don't know Hebrew. You don't know Yiddish. You don't know anything about this culture. You don't know the customs. What you did is you quote mined the Talmud. You can quote mine the Hadith too and find horrible things. It's not hard to do. So that's my attack. You say, oh, you want to attack the Talmud? Why don't I quote mine your Hadith? You have 30,000 Hadith? Let's look at these Hadith. Look at this crazy Hadith that says that the angels curse, the woman who doesn't want to sleep with her husband. Look how nuts that is. What about eating 7 ajwa dates, and it can cure any poison? Or I can go drink from the well, or drinking camel urine. Look at all these things. You're nuts. You're insane. Your Hadith is crazy. And it's full with unscientific, ridiculous things. You're attacking my Talmud? Let me show you all the beautiful things in the Talmud, the things that you forgot to read. It's an easy counter argument, but Daniel doesn't know this stuff. What he does, he's a quote miner. And the problem is the people in his community never read these books. They don't know Hebrew. They haven't actually done due diligence. They don't know what they're talking about. So
I used to be more of a hateful atheist, the type. But now, talking with you and with Dr. J, I get a lot more hopeful for what religion can be, and I'm a lot less. I don't hate. I've never actually hated religion. I just got into that when I debated. I got into that hateful atheist position that I learned from the internet. Obviously,
you listen to too many of those atheists. They're like freaking like
yes.
They're like very like negative, dude. Like
yes,
the Jimmy Snows and the Matt Dillon
and the Matt and the a little bit Aaron and yeah.
I like some of them, but when they attack atheists like that, they're like disrespectful and they dogpile on them. And anyways, I want to push back at Isa. I was muted. I'm sorry about that, Isa. I want to push back on you. Okay. Most people don't debate. Most Muslims don't care about debating, like you mentioned earlier. Most Dawas or a lot of people look at them as cringe. Most Christians don't want to debate. Most atheists, maybe more atheists, want to debate because actually you see a lot of atheists, predominantly, probably like 30% of people in the debate community, if not more, are atheists, right? Like we are probably disproportionately. We might even be a majority in the debate community, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's also the archetype of the hateful atheist too.
Yeah.
So I've softened myself a lot talking to Isa and talking to Dr. J. They're both really great, and they give me hope for what religion can be, for what religious people could aspire to be. I really look up to them and see, and they made me actually change my approach to many of these things, and I really appreciate them for that. But well, yeah,
it's the unsophisticated theists and it's the hate mongers that make you want to not say you're atheist and want to sequester yourself. You're like, oh, you don't believe in God? Are you a Satan worshiper? Oh my God, you're not American, like George Bush did, like the elder one. You're not an American if you aren't a Christian, or like all that stuff. Yeah, Matt also got older and had health issues and stuff like that. And then he started dating somebody else, and the people started attacking her. And then it's like, and that would make me mad too. And like, I would respond negatively to people attacking her. Anyways, that's off topic. I don't want to attack those people. They're not there. I do appreciate them for what they do. I just want to say that. I do. But so the fact that Jews only make up 0. Judaism, like Hebrews, like people that not just ethnic Jews, but actually people that worship God, only make up 0.2% of the human population. So there's not many people, and so if the debate community is only 0.5% of that, you're not going to find many Jewish people that are going to debate their religion.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find what's weird is that you don't find many Hindus, but then it's a language issue too, right? Because most
Yes.
Hindus speak different languages than English. So we're not
A
going
lot
to
of
meet
them
them
do.
because we're not in that culture.
A lot of them do speak English, though, but I just don't see them interested in. The only Hindus I've seen, at least in the MDD Discord, are Hindus who are atheists.
Well, how can you be a Hindu atheist?
Well, the Indians, let's say,
Okay.
Indians, people who are from India who are atheists.
There's a lot of atheists in India.
But I mean, you can be a Jew, an atheist Jew, because Jew is religion and it's also like ethnic. You can be ethnically a Jew. That's what was the sense in which I was saying, like Hindu atheists.
Hey, East, are you doing Ramadan?
Yes,
Like
he's doing.
He's off stage.
I wanted
to ask him that question.
Busy for just a minute, but yeah, he does Ramadan. Isa is multicultural, so yeah, I think he observes both Jewish and Islamic holidays and traditions.
This is a good point by David. It's hard when people are going after you for your beliefs. Like you want to defend them, and it makes you angry because sometimes when people are attacking fundamentally who you are, it can make you angry and then you get mad at the person. But like sometimes you got to try to think about it and step back. And I'm bad at this. You see me get angry. and so, yeah, right.
And for example, I've been on all sides of the fence. I've defended the Christians against the atheists, the Muslims against the Christians against the Muslims. It's like when people start attacking each other, I tend to step in because it's like, okay, we can debate. I think that both of your religions are false, but now you're attacking them for no reason. You can debate, but there's no need to attack the other person. Just attack the ideas, attack the argument, but not the people. There's no need to insult and to just be violent towards each other. There's just no need for that.
I don't get any ads on YouTube because I pay for Prime or whatever it's called. And I got the debate running. It's actually live, but it's not supposed to start till 9. As soon as I hear the music start, I will let Max know. So you don't worry about missing any of the debate.
Yeah. We have you covered here. And just so you know, when we end the stream, you will be forwarded automatically to the debate. Tyler says, hello, everyone.
They have to
hello,
click
Tyler.
They might have to click the thing if they don't have redirect turned on, autoplay turned on.
Yeah, sure. Ita, any thoughts?
I just wanted to be respectful, but I mean that's like I'm Aladdin in the Wonderful Lamp, right? I like it to be a respectful conversation, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I hope Daniel's Ramadan is going well, his fast is going well, and I hope David had a good Purim. So that's my space.
Speaking of
what's Purim?
Purim it's a holiday. It's about Esther. It's about Esther and
yes,
the king of Persia and how the Jews survived, and they drink a lot of wine and stuff. So yeah.
Speaking of wonderful people, I should start my debate with them by saying, I hope you have a blessed day, Andrew Wilson. He has agreed to debate me on Christian ethics versus moral naturalism, which is best for society.
Oh, that's good. Oh, when is that happening? Do you know the date?
It'll be on the Crucible. No, it'll be sometime after the 4th because I got stuff planned. So,
all right. Oh, that's awesome. I would like to see Andrew get handed his ass on a platter.
We'll see what happens. He'll be on his forum, so
The Crucible. My mind went to the non sequitur show for some reason.
No, he doesn't want to do it there because
He wants the control. Yeah.
well, it's a bit. He has a bigger platform, so he'll get revenue from his platform. He'll probably make $1,000 or something from his platform.
Tyler says Daniel will be hungry and extra insufferable.
Andrew is a product of his environment, so something happened to.
Well, yeah,
like do
but
that.
he doesn't really have an argument with Matt. His whole thing was like, "Oh, I hate trans people," and that was it. He doesn't really have argument. He's
Oh,
like,
you
"Oh,
mean
these
Andrew?
people." Andrew, yes, Andrew Wilson.
Well, said he was trying. He like tried to steal man. He said I was doing an internal critique of secular humanism. I'm like, I didn't hear it. I heard a critique of subjective morality, but secular humanism doesn't take a stance on whether morality is objective or subjective. It doesn't take a position on it. So you didn't do an internal critique. Sorry. He doesn't get that.
That's I understand what happened with Matt that day, and I think I said it on the after show for that debate here. But if I would have been him, I would have taken the high road, and I would have like had a deep breath, kept my cool, and just pound him with arguments.
I would have debated him too. I would have debated him on trans issues. I would have said this debate was about secular humanism, which you did an internal critique of, apparently, or you tried to, but secular humanism doesn't have a stance on whether morality is objective or subjective. So can you point to me where it says in secular humanism where morality is objective or subjective? Anyways. And then I would have gone after him on how it's objectively immoral because I believe in objective morality to go after his wife and how that was immoral.
Yeah.
And I have an argument for it I developed a long time ago that Matt can't do because he doesn't believe morality is even a thing.
Yeah, that gets you into a tricky. I don't have a problem saying that my morality is subjective, yes. But it kind of lines up with most people's morality, even though it is subjective.
How do you know?
And what I do when people get a little extra intransigent about what they mean is, okay, let's define objective and subjective, and then we get to the fact that God's morality also comes from the mind of God, so it would also be subjective, so we're done. So I don't know if you ever heard that or if you consider that like a good argument, but for me it has worked. Yeah. When you get to people to understand what you actually mean by that, it works.
I posted the first 40-second opening for a new video I'm putting out to refute electrostatics as evidence for gravity. It's such a ridiculous argument. So if you're a member or if you want to watch the video, I'll spend 99 cents and you go check out the video. I think it's funny. But you know me, I'm an idiot when it comes to what's funny. My sense of humor is like over here. Most of the people are over here. So like whatever.
As the more of the humor voice of the channel, I have to say that it is funny. And the refutation is quite awesome. It's quite an awesome thing to see, to this appeal to things that don't that no one really. He appeals to gravity being electrostatics because so far no one had done the math, but now that the math is done and you can see that it doesn't follow that gravity would be electrostatics, now there's no more doing that argument. So I applaud you on that one, Oz, for for actually taking the time and going through the effort. The audience helped a lot in that video, and we have to say the audience in this channel is really, really awesome. So give yourselves a round of applause. We love you, and we have an extreme gratitude towards you. Isa, we are
What's
on the
up?
final stretch. Any final thoughts before we start just waiting until the debate starts?
My final thoughts are, I think this is a very difficult conversation because I don't think it's a really fair conversation. I don't really know how you can have a fair conversation about this. Islam is dependent on Judaism. So if Islam attacks Judaism, it attacks it. If someone is a Muslim who attacks Judaism, they're attacking themselves, and it just makes no sense. And I don't really see the point of a Jew attacking Islam. Like it's irrelevant and unimportant. So it's just, I don't really see the point of this debate. I don't really know where it's going to go, but we can see what happens. I just don't see the efficaciousness of any of the arguments that are going to be presented. But we're here. We're present.
Islam could lose the debate.
Yes, I can only hope. Yeah, I just wish that David is a good debater, because I like to see Daniel pushed against the wall debate wise. Okay,
I just want internal consistency. You just got what?
Just got an update from the Modern Day Debate channel. It says waiting on Daniel. It's now currently 9:03. And we have a lot of our friends are live. Mark Reed is live right now. MC Toon is also live. They did a debate. They did a 2v1 debate against a flat earther. But get this. The debate was if ice rinks are flat. That's a really specific topic. And it was with a French guy. 2v1, FTFE and MC Toon against this guy who I don't remember his name right now. And on specifically the subject of if ice rinks are flat. So interesting. His main language is not English. He had a very heavy.
Are
heavy
they flat? I don't know. Like,
it turns out no, because water is curved. So ice is also curved. Toon did the math, and it turned out to something like 0.00005.
Why couldn't they shave the ice rink to be flat?
Yes, if when the Zamboni goes, it kind of shaves it to be level actually, but not.
Well, that would be level, not flat. If it was flat, that would actually be dangerous, because then you would.
They need to build like a minor slope so that the water drains out. And when the Zamboni passes, it keeps it level, and on the length of a hockey rink, it's a minor. It's 0.0005 degrees or something like that. So it's level, because level means conforming to the Earth's curve.
Yeah. If you build a bridge, it was like, say you build a road that was like flat, that was like, let's pretend it's like 70 miles is like 1 degree, right? So let's say it was like 700. Let's say it was like 7,000 miles long. So then you're going like this eventually. You're like, you need like ropes to go up, because gravity would be pulling you down.
Danny the Soul says, I bet that one was a whammy. I have to watch it now. I was watching the ridiculous ice rink debate. Yes.
Am I a 1A auditor? That's a good question. There's an answer for that, and it was my very first debate on Modern Day Debate. I also have it. I got a link to it on my own channel, Ozian Talks.
Next time, Jaren, you should just have FTFE and MC Toon debate.
Or you can send me a super chat and I'll answer right now. I'm just kidding. Am I a 1A auditor? I support First Amendment. I support freedom of the press. I got a press pass right here. Look, press pass. It was issued by the Universal Life Church Ministries. I am an ordained minister. Right there, press pass. See? And so I believe in freedom of press, First Amendment, but I do not believe you should go up and intentionally antagonize police. I think you should follow all lawful orders given by police. Keyword there is lawful, but you can't litigate what is lawful or not at the scene. So all you can do is record and then go litigate it in court. So don't do what Witsit did. Okay.
I have to share it again. If someone hasn't seen it, there's a channel called Audit the Audit who they describe
who narrated my book, by the way, Beyond Faith. He narrated my book. Same guy.
Oh, really?
Joshua Baldwin narrated my book.
Oh, that's awesome.
Or Andrew Baldwin. Sorry, excuse me. Andrew Baldwin narrated my audiobook Beyond Faith by Ozian. You can find it on Audible.
So a part of this whole issue of the First Amendment auditors is that you're not supposed to interrupt police officers during a proceeding. So you're allowed to film, you're allowed to keep records and stuff. But when you interfere, you are breaking the law when you start interfering with the procedure. So it's best to stand back.
Some police are overstepping their authorities and telling people not to film. So that is a violation of their First Amendment right.
Correct.
But you can't litigate that on the scene. So what I have a problem with is people like going there just to cuss and swear at the police doing their job, which is their right to do. But I call them, or the people that are going to public buildings just to try to get a rise out of public officials. I have a problem with that. Well, like, I'm against it, press. I don't have a problem with him. But like some of the South or Central Valley people, some of that group over there, where they go out there to try to look suspicious around police vehicles, like they're filming inside of it to look suspicious, just to get the police to come and investigate. I have a problem with those type of people. They're trying to fish for police to try to get police interaction. Those are the people I have a problem with. So when I did the debate, I made the specific point that I'm okay with like asserting my right for freedom of the press, but I am against frauditors. I'm against this whole, and they're not sovereign citizens and stuff. But you can watch my debate against Noli, where I presented an argument. I explained my position very clearly, what I meant. But she supports the whole movement. Like, she supported the whole umbrella concept and not my little narrowly defined, focused concept of what I meant by my freedom of the press. Freedom of the press doesn't mean I can go out there and try to... Now, some of these people are going out there and they have two people and they're going out there. One person's out there with the camera, the other person's over there and calls 911 and says there's a suspicious person standing out here in front of the store, just so they can film an interaction with the police. Like, it's just to get a YouTube video. That stuff is I'm against.
Yeah, but I mean, we support in general everyone's rights, and if it's a constitutional right, more so. But do it with respect, with self-consciousness about maybe you get in trouble over doing something, and that's also not the point. And as Oz said, you cannot dispute that live with a police officer who is in the heat of things and he's responding to a situation and now how to deal with you. That's also a little bit not fair. So it gets tricky. It gets tricky, and the best thing is to try to be careful and be safe in these positions. We are 10 minutes late for the debate, so now is the time when we start just rambling and talking about
I
stuff.
know.
Yeah, the last debate with MC Toon on Jeranism, it was crazy. Me and Billy were just talking and hanging out, and people were talking about the skateboards in Billy's background. It gets a tad difficult when things don't start on time. Oh, we're having a treat.
What's wrong with my white robe? I don't get it. What? I look suspicious in my white robe?
Val Diablo says there is totally a cult of following First Amendment
Oh, I can't
auditors.
hear
They use
anything.
the little catchphrases like "I don't answer questions," etc. on another message. Probably ran out of space, but yes. What's funny, I share the link for Witsit Audit the Audit. And what's funny is that he tried his debate tactics with a police officer, and they were having none of it. And also, in that video, you will see that he was meters away from a zone in which you don't need a permit to do what he was doing, which is also really funny because he could have been there, no one would have bothered him, and it would have been fine. So
It's freedom of speech is time, place, and manner. It's in
Mhm.
public places. So some places you need a license to use amplified voices, which is what he was doing. He was using a amplified voice device, so he has to go down to where he can
Mhm.
do that. He was wrong.
yeah. I agree with what Brenda said a few nights ago. I feel like I need a long hot shower after that debate.
What debate was that? Oh, that was a 2v2 or
Yes, with Dawn and Sovereign Soul and Chain Mind. They had like a 3-hour after show in which Taking Back Eden was there, and there was another Glover, a black gentleman, and they wouldn't let him speak. They would just did. I don't know why they hate Gravity so much, but it seems like it's like Gravity. They hate Gravity. They think it's from the devil.
we never brought up gravity though in our argument, so I don't know why they it's like, how's gravity prove the earth is flat? Like it doesn't.
Or even the lack of gravity.
Yeah.
How like gravity is gravity. It has, I mean,
Yeah.
on a most fundamental level, gravity is what gives objects the circular shape, the round shape. But I mean, unless you can explain why things fall every single time at 9.8 meters per second square, irregardless of location, irregardless of size, it doesn't matter anything.
And we know for sure it's not 400 nanowatts.
Yes. Now that you're here, I'm going to leave you some another.
It started. Debate started.
All right. We'll catch you for the after show. Let's hope we have a good
Thanks,
debate.
Davids.
Oh no, shoot. What did I do? End.